Iowa State University, presenting about the role of lexical bundles in machine learning models for automated scoring of non-native academic writing.
Wait, this is exciting because a lot of people make great speeches up here and presentations up here. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for organizing this, Dr. Voss. So this is me, and I am going to present the role of lexical bundles in machine learning models for automated scoring of non-native academic writing. It wouldn't be right if something didn't go wrong, right? Okay, so this is my presentation structure. I'll walk you through the key aspects of my research. We'll start with an introduction to set the context, followed by the research questions that guided this study. We'll then delve into the methodology and results, and then discussions. But a little bit about me. I'm a second-year PhD student in Applied Linguistics at Iowa State University with a master's in NLP. I work on ChatGPT. Here I'm talking to my students about ChatGPT, integrating that technology in my writing class. I also love to talk about generative AI and automated scoring systems, so I'm very happy I get to do that today. First, let's start with the importance of automated essay scoring. Automated essay scoring is becoming increasingly important, and it was evident in the speeches and presentations given today and yesterday, especially for high-stakes, high-volume tests like TOEFL. The efficiency of automated systems is undeniable. It helped TOEFL deliver faster, cheaper tests by eliminating the need for another human being in most situations. So they are currently assessing the essays by one person and the e-reader. However, I'm sure if you taught writing or wrote, writing is messy. It has a lot of sub-constructs. And construct validity is a critical concern in automated scoring. It's essential that the features used in scoring authentically represent what the test aims to measure. And she has a couple of questions about validity when it comes to writing. He wants us to ask ourselves whether or not our features misrepresent what the students wrote to be assessed, or are we including features that are not really informative? So those are the questions, and those questions are built on Chappelle's validity argument for TOEFL. So, lexical bundles are sequences of words or n-grams that appear frequently across different texts. So, if you take, for example, a daily conversation with a colleague as a text, how are you doing would be a lexical bundle because it appears over and over again. Or if you take your internal monologue, what a guy would be one. So, yeah, I'm one of the last speakers, so letting you take it all that. So, authentic usage in academic settings when it comes to lexical bundles is proven via research and by her, need I say more. And then there is an inverse relationship between frequency of lexical bundles used within a text and writer's proficiency. Again, there is some research that suggests that. But e-reader and many other automated scoring engines do not take lexical bundle information into account. They have some lexical information in there, but they don't specifically go for lexical bundles. So, my objectives are, I'm going to examine the relationship between TOEFL scores and lexical bundle frequency, assess impact of lexical bundle frequency on automated scoring, in other words, how does it help with accuracy and validity, investigate contributions of lexical bundles to other features in scoring, because remember, writing is a construct that consists of many other subconstructs. So if you take one subconstruct, it can have an effect on the others because it has enough information to carry to other subconstructs. So therefore, my research questions are what kind of relationship is there between TOEFL assigned scores and lexical bundle frequency? That's my first question. Second, how does lexical bundle frequency inform automated scoring? And 3, how does lexical bundle frequency affect other features in automated scoring? So TOEFL conveniently has a corpus called TOEFL 11, which consists of TOEFL essays written for independent writing tests, which is amazing. And they have approximately 12,000 essays in there, 8 prompts that are not used anymore, and 11 different L1 languages, which was something talked today. We want our data to come from different backgrounds to be able to represent them in our machine learning algorithm. I'm using support vector machine here because Quinlan et al. Published a study comparing machine learning algorithms on TOEFL essays, and they found out that support vector machines are the best performing algorithms when it comes to automated scoring systems. And then I'm using these tools developed by the likes of Crossley and McNamara, very research-based, published in journals, to extract syntactic features, cohesion features, and lexical diversity features. And I'm using a stratified random sampling because I want to be fair to all L1s. I am setting aside some training and test, equal size L1s, again, score levels, chosen for generalizability. And then I'm creating a subcorpus for lexical bundle analysis to prevent some data leakage, because if you get your features from a data set, and if you use the same data features in the same machine learning algorithm, essentially it's a self-feeding loop. So I am keeping them separate. And for lexical bundle identification, I'm using lexical bundle identification and analysis program developed by Cortes and Lake, very recent actually. This program was chosen because it discards lexical bundles that are existing within a bigger lexical bundle, so you don't count them over and over again. For example, how are you doing is one lexical bundle. I don't want how are you again, because it's going to count it again and again. And then I normalize lexical bundle use because TOEFL doesn't intend to assess essay lengths. So here's some lexical bundles. These are non-prompt lexical bundle frequencies. Non-prompt means that that lexical bundle appears more than half of the prompts written, as you can see here. So a lot of, in order to, first of all, I think that are 3-word lexical bundles that appear across prompts. And when it comes to prompt lexical bundles, they're given a prompt, so some of the students take what lexical bundles are there and then put them in their essays. And the criterion for that is the lexical bundle, if a lexical bundle appears only in essays written for one prompt, they're considered to be prompt lexical bundles. And notice, non-prompt lexical bundles are functional, general lexical bundles, whereas prompt lexical bundle frequencies, they're more topical. They're referring to the prompt. So, this is how I arrived at where I am right now. My first research question was, what kind of relation is there between TOEFL assigned scores and lexical bundle frequency? Like research said, inverse relationship observed, again. So this means the more lexical bundle is used by a test taker, the lower the score. And then these findings support previous findings, like I said. You will see here some data that shows prompt lexical bundle frequency correlations with scores. Non-prompts give the most information, particularly 3-word uses. And then I have here the total scores. As you can see, the inverse relationship in table 4, all of the lexical bundles combined, there's an inverse relationship. Whereas if you take word length, if you don't take word length into account, again, because advanced test takers are using more words, they have more lexical bundles. But when normalized, it turns the other way. Research question 2 was asked, how does lexical bundle frequency inform automated scoring? Improved mean accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 scores, and about 8% increase in Cohen's kappa score. It's not bad. And this is the SVM model classification report without LBF. As you can see, we have a decent F1 score. I'm saying decent because Chanadol says if you have approximately 80% precision, it's close to what E-rater does already. So 0.76, 0.71 in advanced test takers, so 1, 2, 3, low, medium, high. But when I have the lexical bundle information included, all of them increase. All of them increase. And the Cohen's kappa score increased by 8%, like I said. But notice, medium essays are the hardest to classify. This might mean that raters either have a better understanding of what a low score essay is, high score essay is, but medium essays, they're not pretty sure, so they're moving it either a low essays to medium or high essays to medium, or the features I included in my machine learning model, they're not just good enough to capture information about medium essays to discriminate them or against them. And then finally, research question 3, how does lexical bundle frequency affect other features in automated scoring? Change in feature importance observed, again, which means that lexical bundling has enough information to carry over to other features. And what's interesting is LBF enhances meaning-focused features. Now, here's a graph. Okay, this is how features contribute to the machine learning model. Notice the one at the bottom. It's a nominal passive subject per clause. It's actually decreasing the quality of the SVM. But when I include lexical bundle frequency, it carries enough information to give it enough power to contribute to the automated scoring system. And notice how typographical errors are going down in importance. So, form-focused, meaning-focused. So, results in summary, there's an inverse relationship between LBF and TOEFL scores. LBF feature improves mean accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score and Cohen's kappa score by 8%. And then LBF feature seems to enhance meaning-focused features such as passive nominal subjects per clause over form-focused features such as typographical mistakes. Here are the limitations and feature directions. So the corpus that I used only had 3 score levels, but TOEFL has 5 score levels. So that is one thing that we might want to pay attention to. And then there is no flagging system. Meaning I had a 2-word essay in my corpus, but I didn't know what criteria to use to flag them out of inclusion in the E-rater evaluation. So no flagging system. If you can't extract enough information from an essay, what do we do with them? And finally, feature directions: validate LBF contribution. We need to do that. And then test with a 5-point scale and explore L1 bias. I didn't check how LBF treats subgroups within the corpus. That was all. Thank you for listening. I just wanted to announce that I've written a 5-module series for Sage Publishing, which is titled ChatGPT in Research and Education Series. So if you want to check it out, I know Dr. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, I'm sorry. But you know what I'm talking about, the best speech today. So definitely there's some information in there. While I take the questions, you can just scan the code and just go there and check it out. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a very informative presentation. One question: on one of your first slides, you were talking about the TOEFL rating, which will be part technology driven. what would be like the future of assessing TOEFL essays?
In general?
Yes, please.
Because my presentation was on writing, I'm going to talk about writing.
Okay.
I think as we focus, as we learn more about generative AI technologies, I'm sure TOEFL, behind the scenes, does some stuff with generative AI to see if they're reliable enough to extract information. Maybe all of those features, if we ask ChatGPT about them, and if it's able to give us some type of score and has some source-based textual evidence as to why it gave us scores, and it's reliable enough, and it doesn't discriminate based on gender or L1, I think that's the future.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the question.
What would you say is the different role between linguistic features and lexical bundles, the topic of the previous talk?
So linguistic features, I consider lexical bundles to be still linguistic features.
Okay.
So if you could clarify what you mean by linguistic features, I would maybe be better able to.
It's fairly ambiguous for me. Maybe you can.
So that was part of the argument actually. Lexical bundles are authentically appearing in language. They're part of language. We all use them. Every genre almost has their own specific lexical bundles. For example, if you read a scientific paper, you will see it was observed that. Whereas if you hear your neighbor say that to you, it was observed that your dog was out today, you'd be like, no. So it's given you enough information already about where it can be used, right? And it's linguistic, so compared to other linguistics features, I think it needs equal treatment. That's the argument here.
Is it a cliche?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cliches are I think they have higher probability of being lexical bundles because they're cliches now. Yeah. Thank you for the question. I think I have two people over there that.
Have you considered including the lexical bundle by itself in the classifier without adding linguistic complexity features?
Oh yeah, so that would be a correlation actually. I think, but if you're talking about just as a sole feature,
Yes.
I didn't want to do that for some reason because it would, carry some information from the nature of the algorithm, and I think Pearson's correlation was enough for me. If I'm going to use it as the sole feature, it's enough. It's giving me enough information to sort of see that there's an inverse relationship over there. But I think when I go home today, I might give it a try. Yeah, it sounds perfect.
Thank you. This was a really, really great talk. I was surprised by the inverse relationship between use of lexical bundles and proficiency. So can you comment on that a little bit?
Definitely. So when I first heard about it from Bethany Gray, who works with Biber, who came up with the lexical bundle idea along with Cortez, I had the same reaction. I was like, there's something wrong here. I expect these people to use more lexical bundles. They need to know more. But they explain it by referring to Alice's theory that low proficiency learners rely more on rote memorization. So lexical bundles are retrieved more. So they learn bundles rather than play with the language, and mix and match. So that seems to be a very popular answer to your question, but definitely that's a valid question to be asking. Thank you so much.
Simon?
We have one more question.
Hey, me again. So thank you for the talk. I have two questions. One, a clarification. So we were talking about lexical bundles, but there's also this notion of chunks that exists in literature. I was wondering if these are synonymous.
That is a very specific and great question. So actually, Cortez defines in her paper, the paper that she wrote with Luke Williams on the program that I use, they say a lexical bundle is an n-gram that meets a certain threshold, so it needs to appear across n texts over n numbers. And generally that number for example, 3-word lexical bundles is across 5 documents, so that we know that it's not one author, shoots up the numbers, and it needs to be over 30 times. It needs to be happening over 30 times.
Okay, so it's like a statistically determined concept. Okay.
Yeah.
And then going back to your distinction that you're making between lexical bundles that are functional and thematic, I was wondering, and these are both negatively correlated with the quality of the text, right? Is it the case that they both contribute in a negative fashion? Or, because you seem to be sort of just bundling them together, like all lexical bundles are bad, and they just deteriorate the text. I was wondering if you've looked at them as sort of 2 separate categories.
Definitely. I'm having a moment here. You're pretty sure that you have that one slide, but when somebody asks you, it disappears. I'm having that moment right now. So let me see. You guys see that though, right? Okay, I'm not. Okay, right here. Okay, perfect. So there is already a distinction being made when it comes to lexical bundles in functionality. So if you look at, for example, Biber and Staples and Bethany Gray, Portes, they not only extract lexical bundle information, but they also categorize them based on, for example, stance. If you see here, I think you can't see it here. For example, I think that it's a stance. It's giving me some information about the author's stance, because they'll probably follow it up by saying, I think that this presentation was great, or this conference was awesome. But when you look at the prompt lexical bundle frequencies, it's so apparent that they were just taken from the prompt, because check it out, much better than they really are. Probably the prompt, TOEFL trumps give you 2 options, right? Do you prefer alone time or hanging out with friends? Or the number of cars in use. Again, another one, decrease in the number of cars. So I think they might give information to e-reader about how topical maybe an essay is. But if you look at the correlation numbers, prompt lexical bundles do not show any correlation with writer's proficiency at all.
I see, thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.